For a limited time only, get your hands on the Perca-Cola sticker pack. A link is down below. How long has it been? Somebody help me out. 8 days? 9 days? How many days did it take us to complete the Revelations Easter egg? I'm not even sure at this point. Regardless, we have finally completed the Revelations Easter egg, and the cutscene is here. What I'm going to do, as I always do, is show you guys the cutscene, and then I'm going to go down and stop at all the important beats in the trailer and break them down so that you guys understand what's going on. There's been a bit of an uproar about this ending. Some people are calling it a terrible ending. Some people are okay with it. I'm not going to delve into whether or not this is a good or a bad ending. I have my opinions, and I'll keep them to myself. But I'm going to just lay all the facts out there for you guys. Let's begin.
Sophia.
Marcus.
You know what we must do, my dear.
Yes, my love.
We will do it together. As one we are. Now and forever.
With the evil vanquished, I can start making it all nice again. No undead, no apothecons, no shadow man. All of it gone. Forever. But here's the funny thing. You snowflakes shouldn't even still be here. You should be fading out of existence by now. Those blood vials.
I was wondering when you'd bring this up.
They're from realities we've already closed off. They shouldn't be here. They can't be here. Such a paradox means you're putting my perfect world at risk. You guys and your bloody free will. What to do? What to do? Well, you certainly can't stay here.
You could send us somewhere else. Somewhere we've never been.
I suppose I could make a little corner somewhere in history. A place where I can dump some of the other shit that I've left over, or I just wipe you from existence. Ooh, hang on. Actually, that all works out perfectly.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the ending of Zombies, or at least the ending of Revelations, or maybe just the ending of our Origins crew. There's a lot still up in the air at the moment, but let's begin by breaking this down with the first scene. In the first scene, you'll notice there are 5 toys floating around the summoning key. We believe that the toys represent the souls of our 5 children. We had 5 children, and now we have 5 toys floating around the summoning key. And there is a glow around them very similar to the souls that we've seen in many of the other scenes in which we collected souls. We also have this idea that the toys do bear some sort of significance, considering there have been ciphers such as this one that read, "I have received another toy posted by M." So maybe a combination of the toys and the souls allow us to preserve the children as youth. And what we've done with their souls is take them into the summoning key, because the summoning key is the perfect device to do something like this. We can preserve souls in the summoning key. And that's what's going on here as they enter the summoning key.
Sophia.
Marcus.
You know what we must do, my dear.
Yes, my love.
We will do it together. As one we are. Now forever.
There's a lot going on in this cutscene, so let's begin with Sophia and Maxis. They enter the fold, and Sophia's her robot self, and Maxis is now in control of the summoning key. He possesses the souls of all the children. What they need to do is fly into the Apothecan's sun, and this will allow them to vanquish the Apothecans from this realm. They're doing it as one, which is why both Sophia and Maxis fly into the Apothecan's sun. After this, the Apothecans are vanquished, and they are no longer assimilating this world. They prevented a complete assimilation, which is the goal. And now the Apothecans will no longer be able to corrupt or taint this world because, one, we've prevented the fracturing of the universes, and two, we've also closed off other remaining universes. So now the only real remaining universe that matters is Monty's perfect world. That's what's going on here. The question that lingers would be the children, their souls, and what happens to Maxis and Sophia. I wouldn't be too surprised if Maxis and Sophia end up merging into one being as they enter this singularity and all the universes collapse into one, but they might also end up surviving. That's hard to say. The souls are still in the summoning key, and that's what makes me wonder. Do the souls end up dying too? Was that a part of the original plan, or do the souls somehow come back to Monty's perfect world? This is one of the questions that still lingers after they enter the Apothecan's sun.
With the evil vanquished, I can start making it all nice again. No undead, no apothecans, no shadow man. All of it gone. Forever. But here's the funny thing. You snowflakes shouldn't even still be here. You should be fading out of existence by now. Those blood vials.
I was wondering when you'd bring this up.
They're from realities we've already closed off. They shouldn't be here. They can't be here.
So there we go, guys. We have an answer to what the purpose of the blood vials were and why our characters needed to collect them. I actually called this in my video the other day when I said after we close off all the other universes and they cease to exist, well then the characters from that universe need to also cease to exist. But the characters collected the blood vials in order to prevent themselves from fading away, and while we don't actually see it, what they must have done is either drink the blood vials or use the blood vials in some way, shape, or form that prevented them from disappearing as Sophia and Dr. Maxis were flying into the Apothecan's sun, and this is what allows them to still remain. Now this upsets Dr. Monty though, because them still existing from another universe creates a bit of a problem. It's almost like a bridge to that universe now. There's a link connecting them.
Such a paradox means you're putting my perfect world at risk. You guys and your bloody free will. What to do? What to do?
If there's going to be some takeaways from this ending, one of them has to be the idea of a paradox. Something happening despite it being impossible for it to happen. Richtofen's blood vials are a huge paradox in themselves. How does Richtofen ever get the original blood vial? Remember that the first Richtofen from Origins was very skeptical about the Ancients, the Staves, Element 115's magic. He didn't really believe in any of it. He thought Dr. Maxis was going crazy. Well, how does this Richtofen, the one who doesn't know about other universes yet, the one who has yet to be able to teleport between other universes, receive the original blood vial from a different universe? The Mob of the Dead universe, and now you see where the paradox lies. It is impossible for him to have initially received that first blood vial, yet somehow he still has it. It's an object from a universe that shouldn't be there. And what we see now is Richtofen probably learned more about the blood vials as he read the Chronorium, and then he realized their potential and how they'll allow him to survive, so he and the other characters went back to Mob of the Dead after Zetsuba no Shima to receive more blood vials, and this is what they did to allow them to survive their universes disappearing. They created a paradox, and because they are these objects from other universes that shouldn't exist, and yet they still do. We have something impossible happening, still happening. And this is the problem. Dr. Monty doesn't want paradoxes. If he has paradoxes in his universe, this could create problems, and this could create openings and gateways for things to corrupt this universe, or for apothecans to slip in, and he needs to find a way to get rid of them.
Well, you certainly can't stay here.
You could send us somewhere else. Somewhere we've never been.
I suppose I could make a little corner somewhere in history. A place where I can dump some of the other shit that I've left over, or I just wipe you from existence. Ooh, hang on. Actually, that all works out perfectly.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the ending of Revelations, and this ending actually gives us a lot more details about Primus and where Primus came from than you may actually initially realize. So this scene right here is the Great Battle. I believe they're in France because I think you can see what looks like the outline of the Origins Mound in the background, and they're standing atop a hill. They had just defeated the Apothecans with the original staves, and now they're being worshipped like gods. We've seen this scene before. There's actually a cipher describing it. When solved, it reads, "After the great battle, they stood upon the mound. Their light shone down and cleansed all the sickness for as far as the eye could see. They are the first, they are the last. Visions of fractured worlds and strange rooms haunted our dreams." We now understand where Primus had came from. You see, what Monty doesn't realize is that when he sent the Origins characters into this realm to be the Ancients, he created a cycle, and this is an infinite loop that will continue to happen. This is not the first time that our characters actually went and defeated the Apothecans in Revelations. They've probably done it hundreds of times over, and every time they drank the blood vials, and Dr. Monty, he went on to then send them back to Origins, or send them back to the Great Battle, which kick-started the loop. Our characters find themselves in this infinite cycle, and history keeps repeating itself. That's what's going on here. The reason the Primus group, these Ancients, look like our original characters is because following, or after, in the future, the battle in Revelations, our characters continued to exist because they drank the blood vials. And because they had drank the blood vials, Monty needed to find a place to put them. So he goes, oh, just fuck it. I'll just throw them into the great battle. They could be the Ancients. Who gives a shit? Now they'll be immortalized in history or something. Yet he unknowingly created a loop. And now they've gone back in time. And they're going to continue to probably go on more adventures as the Ancients. And as history progresses and continues, the same things will happen over and over and over. And this is where this idea of a second Revelations ending comes from. A lot of people are wondering if there's more to the Easter egg, if there will be another ending that we can find when the map comes out on PC and Xbox. That's the big theory floating around, and it might actually be, because we find ourselves in this cycle created by a paradox. But if we can solve the paradox and we can break the cycle, then there might be another ending, because until we break the cycle, because all we've done is completed the cycle, and now that we've completed the cycle, we start anew. But if we can break the cycle, then the cycle doesn't continue to repeat, and we can finally move on with the world. For now, though, things just keep repeating in this infinite loop, and we can finally understand why our characters keep appearing as these Ancients, why we see statues of them everywhere, why there are plays recreating their events in Kino der Toten, why there is this original premise photo, and why the great battle seems to keep harkening back to our characters. It all finally makes sense now, and this might not be the ending you wanted. This might not answer all the questions you've had. I know a lot of people ask questions about things like the blank portraits or the mystery man from Ascension. But when we look at what this ending did for the overarching story of zombies, we do start to get a better idea of what is happening and why our characters found themselves in this infinite loop. The question is now, can we break the loop? That's going to wrap things up for this video. If you enjoyed it or found it interesting, maybe give it a like, possibly subscribe. I'm going to be continuing to cover the storyline. There are so many more ciphers to solve. I have so many more radios to discuss. We might have the ending of Black Ops 3 Zombies, but I assure you guys there's still so much more to discuss and theorize about, and I'm sure Blundy B has something up his sleeve for when the comic books come out and when we get the next Treyarch installment of Call of Duty. There's a lot more to come. I'm going to go, though. Have a wonderful day, and